Agony in the emergency room. 25-year-old Murad Hajisa just stepped on a landmine planted along the Syrian-Turkish border. Doctors later amputated his mangled left foot, as well as the foot of another victim of a Syrian minefield. In all, 6 Syrian men took several bloody wrong steps early Saturday morning. Mazen Hajisa was one of the luckier ones. The blast left him with only minor shrapnel wounds and burns. I was holding the border fence open so the guys could get through when suddenly I heard the blast, he says. I saw my cousin Murad lying next to me screaming, and then there was a second explosion, and I said, "Nobody move, there are landmines." Something like this was bound to happen. We first met Mazen Hajisa last March. When he showed us some of the more than 300 landmines he and his friends pulled out of the ground along the border. Nobody taught you how to pull this kind of mine out of the ground, right?
No.
In this amateur video, Hajisa demonstrates how he digs up anti-personnel mines buried by Syrian soldiers along the border fence. He's got no protective armor and uses a kebab skewer to probe for the lethal devices. Hajisa applies that same instinct for improvisation when treating his own wounds. Mazen, your bandage is a napkin and some tape. This isn't a professional bandage at all. The 800-kilometer-long border between Turkey and Syria is riddled with smugglers' paths. They became an essential escape route for tens of thousands of refugees fleeing a deadly Syrian government crackdown. And the porous frontier has since become a vital lifeline for rebels and activists smuggling in supplies, fighters, and weapons to the opposition. Turkish authorities say Syrian troops began mining the border last winter. Back in March, Hajisa told us it was his duty to keep the smuggling routes open, and he swears when his wounds heal, he'll go right back to work digging up landmines. You almost got killed. Why would you go back and do this again? We have refugees, women and children coming through this border, he says. They must have a way to escape. Ivan Watson, CNN, Hatay, Turkey.